Her sister had another baby, and she felt nothing but anger. The betrayal, the resentment, it was all too much to bear. In the quiet suburb where she lived, Emily had built a life of relative peace, a sanctuary from the chaos that once engulfed her family. But now the news of Val's new baby shattered that tranquility. It all began years ago, when Emily's life took a turn she never expected. Val, Emily's younger sister, had always been the free spirit of the family. With a wild heart and a tendency to live life on the edge, she was the one who'd chased the thrill without considering the consequences. But when Val became a mother for the first time, things spiraled out of control. Emily remembered the day clearly, the phone call that changed everything. The social worker's voice was clinical, detached, as they explained that Val was unfit to care for her child, Danny. Emily felt her heart drop, the weight of responsibility crashing down on her shoulders. She was asked to step in, to become a guardian, and she agreed without hesitation. Her love for Danny was immediate, as if he'd always been a part of her life. In those early days, Danny was just a scared little boy. Emily recalled the first time she met him, a 6-year-old with eyes too old for his age, bones visible beneath his t-shirt, and a fear of every loud noise. He clung to her, seeking comfort she couldn't yet provide. But she was determined to be the stability he desperately needed. Emily's days were consumed with Danny's care. She taught him the alphabet, reassured him there'd always be food, and held him close when he cried for a mother who wasn't there. Each task, each moment, was a step towards healing. But the scars left by Val's neglect ran deep. As time went on, Emily tried to reach out to Val, hoping for some reconciliation, some acknowledgement of the pain she'd caused. But Val was elusive, her life a series of unkept promises and empty apologies. Emily learned to live with the resentment, to channel it into strength for Danny. Years passed, and just when Emily thought she could settle into a new normal, her husband brought news that shook her. Val was having another baby. Emily's heart hardened at the thought. How could Val, who'd failed Danny so completely, think she deserved another chance at motherhood? It was a Saturday when Emily's husband took Danny out for a boys' day. They returned later, and Danny seemed okay. All things considered, her husband said, they would book a few therapy sessions to help Danny process the news. Emily knew her son needed time to understand, to find his own way through this tangled mess. The conversation with her mother followed, and Emily braced for it. Her mother had always been the optimist, the one who believed in second chances, in redemption. All's well that ends well, she'd say, a mantra that grated on Emily's nerves. But this time her mother listened, really listened, as Emily laid out the depth of Danny's trauma. Emily's mother was shaken, her flippant attitude replaced by a newfound understanding. They agreed on one thing. They hoped Val would be a better mother this time. But Emily couldn't shake the bitterness. How could her mother so easily forgive what Val had done? Finally, there was the call with Val. Emily's heart pounded as she heard her sister's voice, apologetic, nervous. Val confessed she needed their parents' support to break the news, hoping it would feel more like a joyful occasion. But Emily couldn't share in that joy. As Val spoke of regret, of wanting to be a good mother now, Emily's resolve only strengthened. Val asked the question Emily dreaded. "Don't you want me to be happy?" Emily's mind raced. Did she want Val to be happy? The answer came from a place she didn't expect, a visceral no echoing in her mind. She wanted Val to be sober, to be healthy, but happiness. That felt like too much to give. The conversation turned sour, Val's accusations flying. claims that Emily hadn't done enough, that she'd been spiteful. Emily felt the weight of years of unspoken hurt, the toxic cycle they were trapped in. It had to end. With a heavy heart, Emily cut ties. She blocked Val and her boyfriend, informed her parents that holidays would be separate from now on. Her parents understood, promising not to share updates unless asked. Emily felt a sense of relief, a release from the anger that had consumed her. In the quiet aftermath, Emily reflected on her choices. She wasn't sure if it was a happy ending, but it was a necessary one. She focused on her family, on being the best mother and wife she could be. Her gratitude for the life she built with Danny and her husband grew, a testament to the strength she found in adversity. Emily's heart was still heavy with unresolved emotions, but she knew she'd done what was right for her and Danny. The path forward wouldn't be easy, but it was one she was willing to walk, step by step, with the family she'd chosen to protect. The days that followed were a mix of relief and lingering heartache. Emily found herself navigating a landscape of emotions she hadn't anticipated. There were moments when she felt a profound sense of peace, as if cutting ties with Val had unshackled her from a burden she didn't fully realize she was carrying. But then there were moments, quiet, reflective moments, when the loss of her sister, the finality of their estrangement, crept up on her with a dull ache. Emily would sit on the porch in the early mornings, sipping her coffee as the world slowly awoke around her. The sun would rise, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, and she would think about the years gone by. Memories of her and Val as children would flood her mind, giggling under blankets, sharing secrets, dreaming of their futures. Those memories felt like a lifetime ago, remnants of a bond that had been eroded by pain and betrayal. Her husband, sensing her inner turmoil, offered his unwavering support. He was a steady presence, a rock she could lean on when the weight of her emotions felt too heavy to bear alone. They would talk late into the night, sharing their hopes and fears for their family, for Danny. Emily found solace in these conversations, in the knowledge that she wasn't alone in this journey. Danny, too, was adapting. The therapy sessions had been a good decision. The therapist had a gentle way of coaxing Danny's feelings to the surface, helping him understand the complex emotions swirling within him. Emily watched as her son began to express himself more openly, his confidence growing with each passing day. She marveled at his resilience, his ability to find joy in simple things, despite the upheaval in his life. One evening, after a particularly insightful therapy session, Danny approached Emily with a question that startled her. "Mom," he said, his voice tentative yet curious, "do you think Aunt Val will ever come back?" Emily paused, her heart aching at the innocent hope in his eyes. She took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "I don't know, sweetheart," she replied gently. "Sometimes people need time to figure things out on their own, but no matter what happens, you have a family that loves you very much." Danny nodded, seemingly satisfied with her answer, though Emily knew the question lingered in both their minds. It was a reminder that their story with Val wasn't a closed book, but rather a chapter that had yet to be written. As summer turned to fall, the leaves transforming into a tapestry of reds and golds, Emily embraced the change with a renewed sense of purpose. She poured her energy into creating memories with her family. Weekend trips to the countryside, cozy movie nights at home, and impromptu dance parties in the kitchen. These moments became the fabric of their lives, weaving them closer together. Emily also took time to focus on herself, something she had often neglected in the chaos of the past. She rediscovered old hobbies, painting and writing, finding joy in the creative expression they offered. It was a form of therapy, a way to process her feelings and let go of the anger that had once consumed her. Through it all, Emily remained in contact with her parents, maintaining a delicate balance between her own boundaries and their desire for family unity. Her mother, ever hopeful, continued to hold on to the belief that time would heal the rift between her daughters. Emily respected her mother's optimism, even if she couldn't fully share it. As the holiday season approached, Emily faced another challenge, navigating family traditions without Val. It felt strange, a bittersweet reminder of what once was. But she was determined to create new traditions, ones that reflected the family they had become. She involved Danny in the planning, letting him choose decorations and activities, ensuring he felt a part of this evolving chapter in their lives. The first Christmas without Val was difficult, but it was also filled with warmth and laughter. Emily watched as Danny opened his presents, his face alight with joy, and she realized that despite everything, there was so much to be grateful for. They were a family, imperfect but bound by love, and that was enough. In the quiet moments when the house was still and the world outside lay blanketed in snow, Emily allowed herself to dream of a future where forgiveness might be possible. She didn't know what that looked like, or if it would ever come to pass, but she held on to the hope that one day they might find their way back to each other. For now, though, Emily focused on the present, on the life she had built with her husband and Danny. It was a life marked by resilience, by the choices she had made to protect those she loved. And while the path forward was still uncertain, she was ready to face it one step at a time with an open heart and a fierce determination to cherish every moment with the family she held dear. More stories coming soon.